Hey, Team Avatar. This is Captain Yeet here for you for another Avatar The Last Airbender episode review. This is going to be Season 3, Episode 15, titled The Ember Island Players. So, let's get into it. So, this episode starts off with the opening. After the opening, we cut to Zuko and Aang doing some firebending techniques and drills, and then they both sit down and take a break. Now we find out that they're actually on Ember Island, Team Avatar, and they're actually inside of the house that Zuko's family used to stay in. Katara is like, is it the best idea to stay with a fire? Well, she says it's the best idea to stay in the Fire Lord's house. Zuko says, I told you, my family hasn't come here since the last time we were happy. And that was a long time ago. That was a pretty long time ago. And then Sokka and Suki come out of nowhere, and Sokka says, there's a play about us. Everybody's like, what? They go, sorry, I'm stuttering. He pulls out a piece of paper of the poster, shows it to everybody, and says that it's a retelling of the Avatar's life up until now, I guess, and it's going to be played by the Ember Island players. And the way that they get all the information for this play is from traveling musical nomads, random slaves, and just random people that we saw. They actually read the subtitle. I remember they do say wandering nomads or musical nomads, and that's obviously from the people from the Cave of Two Lovers, because they were like wandering nomads that were musical. They say a cabbage merchant, and that's pretty funny. He's like everywhere. So they just got the information from a bunch of random people around the world. Okay, yeah, war prisoners, singing nomads, pirates, and that's about it. Which is kind of cool because, I mean, yeah, there were a lot of people around different situations that the Avatar gang were in. Now, some of these situations, it's somewhat like, okay, there was nobody around at that point. So how did they get that information? Obviously, it's like a joke. It's a joke episode before the last episode. But you get what I'm saying? Like, how the heck did they get that? There was nobody else around besides, like, Team Avatar, maybe Azula and them. Unless Azula gave them information for the play. But then before they go off to the play, Zuko, he's not too hyped about sorry. Before they go off to the play, Zuko, he's not too hyped about seeing the play because he says the Ember Island players suck. Because his mom used to go take him to the play all the time, and he used to always mess up the dragon, some dragon play that he used to go see, and they always butchered it. So, anyway, it goes to nighttime because it was daytime. Everybody goes to see the play. Everybody sits down in their own seat, and then Aang goes to sit next to Qatar. But then Zuko sits there, and he goes, "Hey Zuko, I was gonna sit there." He goes, "What? So what? You sit next to me. What's the difference?" Aang goes, I mean, never mind. Alright, fine. And then the play starts, and then we get to see the two actors for Qatar and I was trying to say Zuko, Qatar and Sokka, and it's pretty funny because they just make Sokka out. I mean, he kind of is, but they just have him just cracking jokes all the time and just really worry about food. And when they have Qatar just really emotional and crying all the time, she's like, "Oh brother, us riding this little boat on the waves. I'm just so happy. And the Fire Nation, they're just gripping everything. I'm so sad." Like, so emotional. And she starts to cry. And Sokka's like, "Man, I'm hungry. I'm starving." And it does this, and the whole crowd starts to laugh. Obviously, Sokka and Qatar aren't really too happy about how they're being portrayed. And this is what Qatar, not voice actor, this is what Qatar actor looks like in the play. And then we're going to see Sokka right after that. Qatar, I mean, if you know, you know. She's gonna, and then there's Sokka. Woo! That is over. She popped up on screen. I was like, she looks a bit. I mean, obviously she looks different, but she looks a bit different. Anyway, that's them two, and then obviously, like I said, they're not too happy about how they're being portrayed. Eventually, they go over and they find Aang in the iceberg, and it's like, even this. How the heck did they even get this information pretty on point about how they found him in an iceberg and Appa wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did like there was nobody else, or like for things like what's it like Ba Sing Se, like the Battle of Ba Sing Se, there was war people around there. There was generals. Maybe they captured them, asked for information. That seems kind of weird. Or like anytime they were in a town, there was a fight, like something like that. Or like they said the musical nomads. That makes sense too. But something like this in the North Pole, there was nobody else around there. How did they get this information pretty on point? At the same time, It's a joke episode, Captain Yeet. I mean, they gotta get some information right for it to be funny. I understand that, but other times I'm like, there was nobody there. How the heck did they do that? Anyway, they go over to the iceberg and they get Aang out of the iceberg, and Aang is played by a girl. Obviously, Aang's like, hold up, is that? Is that a woman? I'm not a woman. So obviously, he gets pretty mad. He's like, hold up, I'm not a woman. How the heck did they get a woman playing me? And this woman has a bald cap on, and she just keeps pranking her. Well, she keeps joking around and pranking Sokka. He's like, that's not how I act. I'm not a woman. And then Toph, she starts to laugh, and that makes Aang a bit more angry. Actually, I'm gonna have to keep this off the TV because every new scene is a new actor. I mean, I gotta show you guys what the actor looks like. The only actor that kind of looks like the actual counterpart, or real life counterpart, is probably Azula. Azula looks pretty spot on, kind of. We'll get to Azula when we get there, but Azula looks pretty spot on. I mean, she looks kind of good. Anyway, it keeps going, and then we cut over to Zuko and Iroh. This is what Zuko and Iroh looks like. And Iroh, he just keeps making jokes about how hungry he is, and he keeps stuffing his face with food. And, you know, Zuko keeps yelling about the Avatar. Obviously, Zuko's like, what the heck? That's not me. They're just making me like an angry fireball all the time. And everybody looks at Zuko. He's like, man, that's not me. And it comes back to the play. And he was like, I don't have time for food. I need to find the Avatar. And Zuko goes, okay. Okay, I mean, okay, maybe they're a little okay. I mean, maybe they're a little accurate. This is what Uncle Iroh looks like. Right after this, we cut to Zuko. Look at this guy. He looks ridiculous. Anyway, oh, we see Zuko. Zuko's not too happy about it. We cut over to when they go to the air temple and they find Momo, and Aang in the play has Momo talking, which is kind of funny. Then we cut over to the time they meet Kyoshi and the Kyoshi warriors, and Sokka goes, "Hey, does this dress make my butt look big?" And everybody starts to laugh, and Sokka puts it like, you know, he turns like, "This is stupid. This is so stupid." Then they cut over to King Boomy, and when Aang, excuse me, they cut over to when they go to Omasu, and Aang had to do those trials because Sokka and Katara were caught up in those crystals King Boomy put them in. How did they get this information? And then, okay, obviously you can't hear this, but I don't know why, but the voice actor is just look at this, bro. That is hilarious. Look at the subtitles. Come on, dog. And that's accurate. When that piece of crystal comes up, and I'm telling you, watch this at 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Watch that. I'm like, dog, that voice actor was doing too much. And like Go Lyoko sometimes. That is hilarious. Anyway, then it cuts to them when I forget the name of the episode, but it's when Katara stole the waterbending scroll and the pirates and everything. They go to that episode. It was a pretty funny joke because Sokka in the play, like, yo, why did you have to steal that waterbending scroll, Katara? She goes, because it gives me so much hope. She starts crying, and then Katara just looks at us like, man, this is dumb. This is so dumb. And then it cuts over to the episode with the Blue Spirit. And this is pretty funny because when the Blue Spirit comes to rescue Aang, it's like the Blue Spirit mask is like gigantic, so Aang can sit on top of it, and he goes, my hero, and walk away. And then Zuko and Aang just go, ugh. Look at each other like, yeah, that's not how it went, but alright. That is not how it went. We see the blue. Oh, my bad. I cut out of the episode. I clicked B by accident. Oh, here we go. Aang goes, oh, my hero. Jumps on the Blue Spirit, walks away. The Aang and Zuko like, ugh. Yeah, that wasn't too good. That wasn't too good at all. Then we cut over to the Jet episode. And then it's kind of weird because they kind of make it seem like Katara was okay with Jet killing all those people. Because sorry, I'm stuttering. Because he was like, oh, Jet, you're such a bad boy. He goes, oh, I know. Don't worry, Katara. I'll flood that town just for you. And they make some, like, fake water come, hit the town. Then they cut to the next scene. I was like, that's the gag. But I'm like, Katara wasn't okay with that. But, you know, that's just, like, the funny gag. Then it cuts over to the Great Divide. This was, apparently, I didn't notice until I watched the overanalyzing video about the Great Divide. apparently not a lot of people like the Great Divide. It was kind of, I guess he said it was somewhat like a meta joke when I watched this episode for him, because when it gets to the Great Divide, Aang is like, "Hey, look, that's the Great Divide, the biggest canyon in the world." Sokka goes, let's keep flying, and they just skip over that episode to play. So I guess even the creators didn't like it. They don't want it to play. Then we cut to the North Pole. Sokka, he kisses Princess Yue. I almost forgot her name. Kisses Princess Yue, then she turns into the moon and flies away. And it was kind of funny because then it cuts back to real Sokka, and Suki goes, "Hey, you didn't tell me you made out of a moon spirit." And Sokka's crying, goes, "Shh, I'm trying to watch." And Suki gets kind of mad and looks to the side. So I feel like I'm just rambling, but I'm not. It's just this episode is just retelling everything we know in a play. So you feel like I'm saying nothing, but I'm saying stuff. Then it cuts to obviously when Aang turned into, I don't know what he got an official name for it, but when the ocean spirit took him, but it made that giant monster Aang was controlling in the Avatar state, and we're just destroying the Fire Nation. We cut to that, and then there's an intermission, and then we cut to outside, and everybody's naturally happy about the play. Sokka says I seem like a dumb guy that makes bad jokes about food. Suki goes, "Oh no, you make bad jokes about other stuff." I know, right? Aang's not too happy he's played by girls. Zuko's not too happy that he's just an angry fireball. And then Katara says, "Yeah." And in the play, they just make it seem like I'm some crybaby that just keeps making emotional speeches all the time. And everybody is quiet. And then Aang goes, "Yeah, nothing like that, Katara." Yeah, nothing like that. I'll put this back up here. I can't have the light on the TV the whole time. Anyway, he goes, "Yeah, nothing like that." And then Toph goes, "Look, those are accurate representations of everybody. You just have to deal with it. I mean, now you get to see exactly how you actually are, and you're just mad about it. But you just have to deal with it, okay?" And then intermission is over, and they go back to the play. And the play, Toph shows up, and she's played by this gigantic, muscly guy. I mean, look at this guy. This man is ripped. And Toph's like, "Hold up, am I played by a man, a muscly man, or a buff man? It sounds like I'm played by a guy." There's Toph in the play. Jeez. I'm pretty sure people have seen her play it. I don't know how they messed that up, but that's pretty funny. Anyway, Katara goes, "Yeah, see, I'm sorry, but that's just the accurate representation of you. You're pretty mad, huh?" "No, I wouldn't have it any other way. That sounds awesome." She goes, "Okay, Toph, you get this." You get this one. And then he goes, well, it's kind of funny because he kind of explains the same type of sensory location Toph uses, or how she can see even though she's blind. But he explains it in a way that he doesn't just feel with his feet. He has to scream and then he can see people. And then he does this really weird screech for a muscly guy. He goes, "Hey, see, I got a pretty good look at you." And then they're like, "Okay." Then we cut over to the time Zuko and Uncle Iroh split up for a time. And the reason they split up in the play was because Uncle Iroh said, "Zuko, your hair is a bit too long." And then they split up. Kind of weird. Then it cuts over to the chase, and then they just disappeared. This is the one that really had me thinking whoa, there was nobody else in that deserted town besides Team Avatar and Azula and Uncle Iroh and Zuko. I was like, what is going on? There was nobody else there but them. That did not happen. I was like, that was so weird. Then it cuts over to, what episode is this? Oh no, that's still the chase. Because it's when Azula disappeared when everybody did that big combo attack and then that big explosion happened. I was like, where the heck did Azula go? How the heck did he disappear? Anyway, then we cut over to the drill, and nothing really happens there. It's just Azula, and actually, Azula does pop up here. Can we get a good look at Azula? Because Azula's actor in the play kind of does. Oh yeah, here we go. Azula actor in the play, not too off the mark, if I do say so myself. She kind of does look like actual Azula. Everybody else obviously looks ridiculous, but she actually does look like Azula, which is kind of funny. Anyway, we cut over to the drill. Everybody's starting to yawn and go to sleep during the drill episode. Then we cut over to Lake Low Guy, and Jet's just going crazy because he's mind controlled. And then they drop a rock on him. And then Zuko goes, "Did Jet just die?" And then Sokka goes, "I don't know. It's really unclear." And then we just cut to the next episode in the play. I always found that funny because I'm like, I'm pretty sure he died, which is kind of sad. I mean, that was a sad death. I don't know why they're making fun of it right here. Then we cut over to when my goodness, what's going on my screen? My bad. It's nothing bad, but just spamming me. My goodness. No, this isn't okay. Anyway, um, we cut over to the scene where Zuko and Katara were trapped underground during the last two episodes of season 2. And while they're trapped underground, Katara says, Zuko, ever since I first met you, I really liked you. And Zuko goes, what? Stop playing with me. She goes, no, I really do. Aren't you the Avatar's girl? And then he clicks the Aang in the stand and he goes, he just nods his head. She goes, Aang, the Avatar? I just think of him as like my little brother. I have no romantic feelings from him at all. Obviously, that makes Aang feel some type of way, so he gets up and walks out. And Sokka thinks he's just walking out, so he goes, hey, can you bring me some fire flakes and a drink too? And then this is the funny scene with Aang. He's like, yeah, isn't actually the Avatar's girl? And then Aang's like, yeah. He just nods his head. Of course he is. Anyway, then we cut over to when Zuko betrayed Uncle Iroh and went with Azula. And in the play, he pushes Uncle Iroh over, like he pushes him all on the ground. He goes, "You're fat, you're smelly, and you just eat all the time. Get out of my face." And goes with Azula. And Katara goes, "Did you really say that?" Zuko, I might as well have. And he puts his head down. And he seems really sad about betraying Uncle Iroh. And he didn't really get the chance to make amends with him. Excuse me. Then we cut over to when the Earth King gets captured and everything went bad, and the Fire Nation took over. Ba Sing Se. Almost forgot the name for it for a second. And then we get the actors for Ty Lee and May, and they seem kind of funny. Ty Lee has a bit of a gut, and she's wearing a tutu, and May has like has a straight face emoji on her clothes. Her hair over her eyes, and she has knives in her buns. This is pretty funny. And then also when she throws the knives to fight the Earth Kingdom guards, somebody comes up, grabs the knife. Look at this. Somebody comes up, grabs the knife, and just walks with it. That's so dumb. That is so dumb. I don't know. She could actually throw the knife, but I don't know. That was really funny to me. I don't know why. Then Aang goes into the Avatar state. Azula kills him and hits him with lightning. Then it's another intermission. During this intermission, Suki goes, man, and all of those fights, I just realized in the play, you guys barely make it out alive. You guys get captured alive too. Sokka goes, wait a second. Didn't Azula capture you and put you in a boiling rock? Oh, right, she did. And then Suki goes, you trying to get on my bad side? Anyway, Katara walks out. She goes, hey, where's Aang? I haven't seen him in a while. Sokka goes, I don't know. I told him to go get me some fire flakes like 10 minutes ago. I'll go look for him. So Katara, she walks off screen. Then Sokka goes, hey, Suki, you think you can help me get backstage? I want to tell the actor me some jokes. She goes, of course. Well, there was like a funny joke where she was like, I'm a trained warrior that specializes in covert missions and stuff. Of course, I can get you backstage. So they go off backstage too. And Zuko, he seems pretty down and sad. But then we cut over to, hold up. Okay, yeah. Okay, I was speaking too fast. We cut over to Katara, and she meets up with Aang, and Aang's like really sad about the play, really mad about the play. Then we cut over to when Suki made that joke. Then we cut back to Zuko and Toph. Now Toph says, Zuko, you seem pretty down, more down than usual. What's the matter with you? He goes, that play was kind of right about me. I never really got to make amends with Uncle Iroh before I joined you guys. I just felt so bad. I'm pretty sure he hates me now. She goes, he doesn't hate you. How do you know? She goes, well, I had a really long talk with him once, and all he could talk about was you. It was kind of annoying. And he goes, I'm sorry, but sweet. He really cares about you. And I'm pretty sure you have made amends. You're joining us, taking down the Fire Lord with us. He would be really proud if he knew what you were doing today. He goes, thank you. And then Toph punches him in the arm. He goes, hey, the heck are you doing? Why the heck did you punch me? She goes, that's just how I saw fixing. And then we cut back over to Qatar. No, but before we do, this little kid was like running around while they were talking, and he's in an Aang costume. And he walks up to Zuko. He goes, "Hey, that's a pretty nice Zuko outfit, but your scar's on the wrong side." And runs away. Zuko, "My scar's not on the wrong side." And then we cut back over to Aang and Qatar. Now with Aang, we don't. Wow, I'm speaking way too fast. My bad. We cut back over to Sokka meeting his actor backstage, and Sokka gives him some jokes, and the actor really likes the jokes, and he's laughing. And Suki's like, "What? These jokes aren't funny. What the heck are you? What?" And then he starts to give him some catchphrases to say during the play. He goes, "Oh man, these are so good. Hey, who are you?" "I'm just a really good Sokka fan." Then we cut over to Qatar and Aang. And Aang goes, "Was that true what you said on stage about how you only think of me as a brother and no romantic feeling to me at all? I mean, we kissed a couple weeks ago and I thought we'd be together, but not." And Katara explains about how it's just a confusing time. I just don't know yet. He goes, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Hey, we're in the middle of a war. We have to fight the Fire Lord in like a couple of days. Like there's a lot going on, just a lot of pressure and everything. So I'm just a little confused right now. We can't date right now because there's a lot going on, especially, the biggest thing, a war." Like, I mean, that kind of, I mean, not even kind of, I mean, that's pretty reasonable. Like, there's a whole war going on that we're actually in the middle of. There's a lot going on. We can't just go out on dates and stuff right now because we're in the middle of a war. Like, I'm a bit confused right now. Just give me some time. And then she looks down. And then Aang walks up to her and tries to kiss her again. She goes, "What the? I just said I was confused," and just storms off. He goes, "Ah, Aang, you idiot." I'm like, "Yeah, that was pretty dumb. She just said she was confused. We can't date right now, yada yada." Aang, I should kiss her. It wasn't the best time, my dude. It really was not the best time. Excuse me. Anyway, Aang, he walks back into the house. I mean, he walks back into the play and sits down next to Sokka. And Sokka goes, "Okay, well, Combustion Man happened, the Painted Lady happened, yada yada, like all the recent episodes in this season. But since we just saw them, I'm pretty sure that's why we didn't see them in the play." And then we cut over to them during the invasion that we just saw a few episodes ago. And Katara goes, "Aang, I'll see you later after you defeat the Fire Lord. You're just like a brother to me." And then Aang's like, "Oh, here we go." And then Sokka, the play Sokka, starts to say some of the jokes that actual Sokka gave him. And Sokka like, "Oh, I told him to say that. I told him to say that." And he just gets so happy. Sokka gets so happy. Anyway, we cut over to when Zuko joined everybody. And then we cut over to the day of the invasion. Well, the next invasion when they fight the Fire Lord. Because after Zuko joined them, and then Sokka, he gets up, he goes, "Well, guess at the end of the play, cut up to the present." And then Suki's like, "No, the play's not over yet." "How's it not over? Unless this is our future." And then we cut over to Azula talking to Lord Ozai, well, Fire Lord Ozai, talking about how, Ozai's happy because the comet has come, so now he's empowered with the power of the comet. And Azula says the Avatar and Zuko are here. Ozai tells Azula to handle Zuko, he'll handle the Avatar. And then we see Zuko and Azula fighting the play, and Azula kills him. And everybody starts to cheer in the crowd, and Zuko gets like really shocked. And we actually see, I really like this scene because because it cuts over to actual Zuko's face, like, what? Like, he just died in the play. He's like, whoa. And everybody looks at him, and then his scar eye opens up pretty big. I think this is the biggest we ever seen it. His scar eye opens pretty big. You see that? I was really surprised when that happened, when you see his scar eye open that big, because he's normally really squinted and stuff, but it was pretty big. Anyway, then we cut over to Aang fighting Lord Ozai, and then Lord Ozai kills Aang. Obviously, Aang is really shocked because he just died in the play, and then after the play is over, it cuts to everybody outside, and everybody's like, "Yeah, that play was stupid, ridiculous." Everybody's really mad at the play, and then Sokka goes, "Yeah, that play sucks, but it had pretty good effects." And then we get the credits. And then next episode is an hour and 34 minutes long, 32 minutes long. So obviously, I think this was originally a 4-part episode. Netflix put it all into one. So if I'm going to keep on track, I have to do this whole hour-long review. Now, obviously, my computer cannot do that, so I'm going to live stream next week. last episode. Wow, we've been on this journey for a minute. It's been one whole year. Because I started it on my last birthday when I turned 20. And then, like, I'm 21 now, and I did another video on my birthday. I got done with Avatar. I was able to review this whole series in 1 year. Not bad. I mean, well, it was a year and some change because, obviously it's past my birthday and stuff. But, a year and some change, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm still on Kolyoko, and it's been like 2 years. Well, I didn't do it like week by week at first. I did I think I did. I took a break. I don't know. I just remember it wasn't like week by week always. No, it was. But why did it take me so long? Well, Kolyoko season, there's 4 seasons Kolyoko, and there's like 24 episodes in each season, and the last season's 30. One season's 15, but the first 2 are 24. And Avatar, the first season's 20, and the second season's 18, and the last season's 16. So it kept going down. So that's probably why it's less episodes. But man, 1 episode left. That's gonna be a doozy. It's just an hour long, so y'all better buckle in when I live stream it. So I thank you all for coming on this journey with me, watching Avatar. I thank you all for coming to watch this video. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for being wonderful human people. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.